beef.
Is that all?
No. A shoulder of mutton, a haunch of venison well done, an embrace of grouse, caro carnis, feminine pledge.
Is it a sin?
Not necessarily, my lady, but when carnal embrace is sinful, it is a sin of the flesh, like QED. We had caro in our Gallic wars. The Britons live on milk and meat. Lactate et carne vivunt. I thought of finding a proof from Ra's last hearing.
It's very difficult, Septimus. You'll have to show me how.
If I knew how, there would be no need to ask you. For Mars' last theorem has kept people busy for 150 years, and I hoped it would keep you busy enough for me to read Mr. Chaytor's poem in praise of love with only the distraction of its own absurdities.
Oh, Mr. Chaytor has written a poem.
He believes he has written a poem, yes. I can see the might more finality in your algebra than in Mr. Chaytor's couch of yours.
Oh, it was not my algebra. I heard Genevieve telling Cook that Mrs. Chaytor was discovered in carnal embrace in the gazebo.
Really? With whom did Genevieve happen to say?
What do you mean, with whom?
With what? Exactly so. The idea is absurd. Where did this story come from?
Mr. Nose.
Mr. Nose.
Papa's landscape gardener. He was taking bearings in the garden when he saw, through his spyglass, Mrs. Chaytor in the gazebo in carnal embrace.
And do you mean to tell me that Mr. Nose told the butler?
No, Mr. Nose told Mr. Chaytor. Genevieve was sitting by the room who overheard Mr. Nose telling Mr. Chaytor in the stable yard.
So, thus far, the only people who know about this are Mr. Noakes, the landscape gardener, the groom, the butler, the cook, and, of course, Mrs. Chaytor's husband, the poet.
And Arthur, who was cleaning the cylinder. And Ricky. And now you.
Of course. What else did he say?
Mr. Nose.
No, not Mr. Noakes. Genevieve. You heard Genevieve telling the cook.
Cook hushed him almost as soon as you started. Genevieve did not see I was being allowed to finish yesterday's upstairs rabbit pie before I came to my lesson. I think you have not been candid with me, Septimus. A gazebo is not, after all, a meat larder.
I never said my definition was complete.
Is carnal embrace kissing?
Yes.
And throwing one's arms around Mrs. Chaytor?
Yes, now, from Ross last
I thought as much. I hope you are ashamed.
I, my lady.
If you do not teach me the true meaning of things, who will?
Ah. Yes, I am very much ashamed. Carnal embrace is sexual congress, which is the insertion of the male genital organ into the female genital organ for purposes of procreation and pleasure. Now, from Mars' theorem, by contrast, asserts that when x, y, and z are whole numbers, each raised to the power of n, the sum of the first two can never equal the third when n is greater than 2. Nevertheless, that is the theorem.
It is disgusting and incomprehensible. Now when I am grown to practice it myself, I shall never be able to do so without thinking of you.
I thank you very much, Henry. Was Mrs. Chaytor down this morning?
No. Tell me more about sexual congress.
There's nothing more to be said about sexual congress.
Is it the same as love?
Oh, no, it is much nicer than that. I am teaching in Genevieve.
Beg your pardon, Mr. Hodge, but Mr. Chaytor said it was urgent to receive his letter.
Very well. Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Chaytor asked me to bring him your answer.
My answer. Well, my answer is that, as is my custom and my duty to his lordship, I will be engaged to the 12 in the education of his daughter. When I am done, and if Mr. Chayton is still there, I will be happy to wait upon him in the gun room.
I will say so, sir.
What is for dinner, gentlemen?
A boiled ham and cabbages, m'lady, and a rice pudding.
Oh, goody.
So much for Mr. Noakes. He puts himself forward as a gentleman, a philosopher, the picturesque, a visionary who can move mountains and cause lakes, but in the scheme of the garden, he is as the serpent.
When you stir your rice pudding, Septimus, a spoonful of jam spreads itself round, making red trails like the picture of a meteor in my astronomical atlas. But if you stir that bread, the jam will not come together again. Indeed, the pudding does not notice, and continues to be just as before. Do you think this is odd?
No.
Well, I do. You cannot stir things apart.
No more you can. Time must needs run backward, but since it will not, we must stir our way onward, mixing as we go, disorder out, disorder into disorder, until pink is complete, unchanging and unchangeable, and we are done with it forever. This is known as free will or self-determinism. Sit.
Septimus, am I the first person to have thought of this?
No.
I have not said yet.
If everything from the furthest planet to the smallest atom of our brain acts according to Newton's law of motion, what becomes of free will?
No.
God's will.
No.
Sin.
No.
Very well.
If you could stop every atom in its position and direction, and if your mind could comprehend all the actions thus suspended, then, if you were really, really good at algebra, you could write the formula for all the future. And although nobody can be so clever as to do it, the formula must exist, just as if one could.
Yes. Yes, as far as I know, you are the first person to have thought of this. In the margin of his copy of arithmetic, Fermat wrote that he had found a wonderful proof for his theorem, but the margin being too narrow for his purpose, he did not have room to write it down. The note was not found until after his death, and from that to this has been...
I see now! The answer is perfectly obvious.
This time you may overreach yourself. Ah! Mr. Chayton! Perhaps I will be at liberty at 11:45, if that is convenient.
It is not convenient, sir. My business will not wait.
Then I suppose you have Lord Croom's opinion that your business is more important than his daughter's lesson.
I do not. But, if it pleases you, I will ask his lordship to settle the point.
Finally, take Vermont to the newsroom. There will be an extra spoonful of jam if you find his proof.
There is no proof, Septimus. The thing that is perfectly obvious is the note in the margin was a joke to make you all mad.
Now, Mr. Chayton, what is this business that cannot wait?
I think you know it, sir. You've insulted my wife.
Insulted her? That would deny my nature, my conduct, and the very admiration in which I hold Mrs. Chayton.
I have heard of your admiration, sir. You insulted my wife in the gazebo yesterday evening.
You're mistaken. I made love to your wife. She asked me to meet her there. I have a note somewhere, I dare say we can find it. And if someone is putting it about that I did not show up, by God, sir, it is a slander.
You damn measure! You would drag down a lady's reputation to make a refuge for your own cowardice. This will not do. I am calling you out.
Chayton! Chayton, 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 my dear friend!
You dare to call me that? I demand satisfaction.
Mrs. Chayton demanded satisfaction, and now you are demanding satisfaction. I cannot spend my time day and night satisfying the demands of the Chayton family. As for your wife's reputation, it stands where it has stood.
You blackguard!
I assure you, Miss Chayton is charming and spirited, with a pleasing voice and dainty step. She is the epitome of all the qualities society applauds of her sex. And yet, her chief renown is for a readiness that keeps her in a state of tropical humidity, as would grow orchids in her drawers in January.
Damn you, Hodge, I will not listen to this. this? Will you fight or not?
Not. There are no more than 2 or 3 poets of the first rank now living, and I will not shoot one of them dead over a perpendicular pope in a gazebo with a woman whose reputation could not be adequately defended by a whole platoon of musketry.
You say so, do you? Who are the others, in your opinion? Oh, no! This goes very ill, Hodge. Will not be flattered out of my course. You say so, do you?
I do. And I would say the same to Milton were he not already dead. Not for part about his
Why
wife.
among the living, Mr. Southey?
Southey I would have shot on sight.
He has fallen off quite a bit. I'm not fallible, but Maddock, oh dear cause. But we are straying from the point. You took advantage of my life, and as if that were not bad enough, it appears that every stable boy in Scotland...
Damn you! Have you not listened to a word I said?
I have heard you say. I do not deny I welcome your regard. God knows one is little appreciated if one stands outside the coterie of hacks and yes-men that surround Geoffrey in Edinburgh.
My dear Chaytor, they judge a poet by the seeking man of Lord Holland's cable.
By heaven, you are right. And I would very much like to know the name of the scoundrel who slandered my verse drum on the Maid of Turkey in the Piccadilly Recreation Tour.
The Maid of Turkey? I have it by my bedside. When I can't sleep, I take up the Maid of Turkey like an old friend.
There you are. And the scoundrel wrote he would not give it to his dog for dinner who had covered in bread sauce and stuffed with chestnuts. When Mrs. Chaytor read that, sir, she wept. Would not give herself to me for a fortnight. Which will cause me to my poetry.
Poem, however, will make your name.
Whether it do or not is besides the point,
It's
sir.
not a question, sir. No coterie can oppose the acclamation of the reading public. The Count of Eros will take the town.
Is that your estimation?
It is my intent.
Is it? Is it? Well. I do not understand you.
You see, I have an old copy sent to me for review. I say review, but I speak of an extensive appreciation of your gifts and your rightful place in English literature.
Well, I must say it's fair. You've written it.
Not yet.
And how long does it take for you to prompt?
To be done. Right.
Yes.
It first requires a careful reading of your book. Both books. Several readings, along with an outline works for an exhibition of deference or disdain, as the piece merits. I make notes of course, I order my odds, and finally, when all is ready and I'm calm in my mind, then I...
Did Mrs. Chaytor know of this before you and her?
I think she very likely did.
There is nothing that woman would not do for me. How you an insight into her character? Yes, by God, she is a wife to me, sir.
For that alone, I would not make her a widow.
Captain Bryce once made the very same observation.
Captain Bryce did.
My dear Mr. Hodge, allow me to inscribe your copy in happy anticipation. Lady Thomasina's Kenshot, sir.
Your connection with Lord and Lady Crewe you owe to your fighting her ladyship's brother.
No, 'twas a rumor, but a fortunate mistake, sir. It brought me patronage of a captain of His Majesty's Royal Navy and the brother of a countess. I do not think Mr. Walter Scott can say so much, sir, and here I am, respected guest at Sidley Park.
Well, sir, I guess you could say you have received satisfaction. Mr. Noakes, my money-meddled rascal. Where's your spy glass?
I beg your leave. I thought her ladyship.
Excuse to my friend Septimus Hodge, who stood up and gave his best on behalf of the author as Red Chaytor at Sidley Park, Derbyshire, April 10th, 1809. There you are, sir, something to show your grandchildren.
This is more than I deserve. This is handsome. What do you say, Noakes?
Oh, no! No! Mr. Noakes, what is this I hear?
Not only the gazebo, but the boathouse, Child's bridge, the shrubbery.
The shrubbery, my God, sir, not possible!
Mr. Noakes, sir.
Mr. Noakes, this is monstrous.
I'm glad to hear it from you, Mr. Hodge. May I return now?
But not just yet.
Yes, let us stay.
sincerely regret the gazebo, and the boathouse up to a point, but the Chinese bridge, fantasy, and the shrubbery I reject with contempt. Mr. Chater, would you take the word of a jumped-up, jogging gardener who sees carnal embrace in every nook and cranny of the landscape?
Septimus, they are not speaking of carnal embrace, are you, Mamma?
Certainly not. What do you know of carnal embrace?
Everything, thanks to Septimus. In my opinion, Mr. Noakes' scheme for the garden is perfect. It is a Salvatore.
What does she mean?
Salvatore Rosa, your ladyship, the painter. He is indeed the very exemplar of the picturesque style.
Hodge, what is this?
She speaks from innocence, not from experience.
Not innocence. Has he ruined you, child?
Answer your uncle.
How is a ruined child different from a ruined castle?
Such questions I defer to Mr. Noakes. A ruined castle is picturesque. Certainly. I teach the classical authors. If I do not elucidate their meaning, who will?
As my tutor, it is your duty to keep my ignorance.
Dabble in paradox, Edward. It puts you in danger of gratuitous wit. And Thomasina, wait in your bedroom.
Yes, Mamma. I did not intend to get you into trouble, Septimus. I'm very sorry for it. It is plain that there are some things a girl is allowed to understand, and these include the whole of algebra. There are others, such as embracing a side of beef, that must be kept from her until she's old enough to have a carcass up her road. One moment.
What are you talking about?
Meat? Thomasina, you best remain. Your knowledge of the picturesque obviously exceeds anything else the rest of us have to offer. And Mr. Hodge, ignorance should be like an empty vessel waiting to be filled at the well of truth, not a cabinet of vulgar curios. Miss Noakes, at last, it is your turn.
written by Horace Walpole.